I wanted to talk a little bit about Rockstar Games and just kind of my disappointment with this company. Now, at the end of the day, for the corporate shills who absolutely just adore all these companies and nothing can ever be bad about them, I know that my opinion will not change anything. My small opinion will never hit the point of billions of dollars of income, of shark cards for GTA Online or anything like that, but I'm still allowed to have the opinion, and it's something I still wanted to talk about. Before we hop into it, if you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. We're going to be moving forward with a lot more stuff. Assassin's Creed, James Bond, the DC and Marvel universes, of course, Fallout content. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming up I hope you will check out. Today, I wanted to talk about something that was drawn to my attention from Twitter, of all places. Now, I was roaming the hellscape that is social media, and in my travels, I came across a tweet from an account called Gaming Detective that I thought was really interesting. And it was something I didn't really know about, or at least I didn't remember if I ever did know about, Rockstar Games, the developer of GTA, obviously GTA Online, Red Dead Redemption, Bully, etc. And that was that Rockstar was developing a GTA 4 remaster until it was shelved in 2022, and they said because of the GTA trilogy backlash. And what's funny to me about this is a couple things. First off, now I think you can look at it and say like, well, this is just a tweet. This is just on Twitter. Who says that this is true? Well, it was also tweeted by another insider as well last year in July of 2022, and of course as well confirmed by Kotaku. Now, I think that any of these sources you can probably have a problem with, but once they all start coming together confirming the same things, including someone at Kotaku who actually does talk to inside sources, it kind of becomes a lot more real. And what really annoys me about this whole thing is that this year would have been the 15th anniversary of GTA 4, actually. Now, at the end of the day, I don't necessarily think GTA 4 needs a remaster, not because it looks great and amazing, but because the game is just fine. You know, I mean, like, it has a healthy community on PC, even though it has a few issues there. They've mostly been ironed out by players. Also, there are physical copies of the game floating around everywhere, and it's widely available on even today's Xboxes. I think some of the problems are things like the fact that there's no PC port for Red Dead Redemption 1, and of course also the fact that PlayStation players are locked out of a lot of these old games. GTA 4 is not really playable on anything modern for PlayStation. And what really pisses me off about this is just the laziness around Rockstar itself. I talked about this, I believe, in my video last year about Bully 2 and how Bully 2 got canceled pretty much for no reason. Because it was actually talked about earlier this year on Screen Rant, but it was also talked about last year as well, that basically before GTA 5, Rockstar had a very wide variety of games. They made things that were taking chances. They made things like Bully, which is pretty much this school-type GTA game. I know there's a lot more to it than that. I understand. I'm trying to break it down for people who haven't played it. And of course, as well, there's a lot of different systems in there, like going to class, going on missions, getting weapons, and a lot of these games take place in pretty much the same universe, which I think is really interesting too. So there was a lot of fun diversity of thought and games that were done before GTA 5, especially. But after GTA 5 came out, it got a tiny bit of single-player support, especially when they revamped the game for the PS4 and Xbox One generation. They added in a first-person mode and a couple things like that, but over time it was pretty much just abandoned. And what do you mean by that, Jay? Obviously they still release GTA content today. Yeah, well, sure, if you're GTA Online. When it comes down to it, Rockstar has been extremely lazy with their single-player games post-launch, pretty much since the end of the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 generation. In the past, you would get these different types of games like Bully and obviously Red Dead, and you'd get GTA, and you'd get kind of like a switch off of those things. I mean, you even got games like Max Payne 3. Okay, so Rockstar was actually out there trying different things and messing around and having a fun time. On top of that, they would also support these games post-launch. What they would do is things like single-player DLCs. They would do things like the Ballad of Gay Tony for GTA 4. There were other DLCs as well. They would do things for Red Dead Redemption like Undead Nightmare, taking chances, going kind of experimental and having a fun time. But now, where are all of the resources for Rockstar when it comes to their work other than supposedly GTA 6, which I do believe they're working on that. But other than that, where are all of their resources? GTA Online. And why is it that all of their resources are in GTA Online? Well, one reason for it, reported by Outsider Gaming, is because according to Take-Two accountants, GTA 5 has generated nearly $7.7 billion since its 2013 release, and that is, of course, as well taking GTA Online into account with things like shark cards and microtransactions. This is pretty much a money printer for Rockstar. And look, I will give Rockstar credit that when it comes to GTA Online, they have done a lot to improve that experience. There are a lot of different things you can do now. There are, of course, tons of different player housing options. There are, of course, as well, tons of missions. GTA Online has gotten support. I'm not trying to pretend GTA Online hasn't, that somehow it's just stayed stagnant since release and they've just made shark cards and that's it. But what they have done is focused pretty much all of their resources away from any single-player things other than the occasional new game. They will drop Red Dead Redemption 2, and yes, fantastic game. I'm not saying anything negative about the game. But when it comes to actually supporting it after launch, when it comes to the idea of an Undead Nightmare or a Ballad of Gay Tony or anything like that, that's off the table. And we can see that because they didn't do that with GTA 5, even though it was released across pretty much every device, including your grandmother's toaster oven. It's going to, compete with Skyrim for the amount of ports it's going to get by the time that we all go into the grave. And then, of course, as well, they haven't done that with Red Dead Redemption. So we kind of hoped when GTA Online launched, a lot of us fans of this franchise, what we hoped was this. Okay, well, this obviously is going to make a lot of money for Rockstar, and this is going to be fun. That we knew that. I don't think anyone complained about that. No one was like, "Oh, damn it, Rockstar, be poor, please." But we were like, okay, this is going to make Rockstar a lot of money. This is hopefully going to be fun. And of course, the microtransactions are going to fund this. But then as it got more and more big, people were like, okay, well, you're making so much profit from this. How come some of this can't also fund some creativity in your other franchises? Why can't you go back and do a single-player DLC somewhere? Why can't you do a remaster and make it good? And what's funny to me about all of this, right? These are all problems that I have with, obviously, Rockstar themselves. And, of course, the fact that they won't add really any of their GTA Online single-player content. Like, you can play the content as a single person in GTA Online, right? But they won't add any of that kind of stuff to the GTA Offline single-player. So you already have that going on, which I think is just kind of stupid. Even player costumes or, outfits that would work. Nope, sorry. 99% of them or more are not in there. They added a couple of guns early on and that's it. And I think maybe a couple of cars, but really no more than that. So that's all a problem, right? And then that kind of leads us to the crux of what we're talking about, which is the fact that they canceled this remaster supposedly because of bad publicity and bad response to the GTA Trilogy remaster. But Rockstar wasn't even interested in that remaster in a lot of ways. They pushed a lot of that development off on Grove Street Games, and of course as well, we saw that when it was revealed that pretty much the original UI and the original operating system running under the hood for these GTA ports for, 3, San Andreas, Vice City for that remastered collection, they were based off of mobile ports of the game. There was not a lot of effort put into the GTA Trilogy remaster. So if the reason that they canceled it or their justification is, well, people responded poorly to the remaster, yeah, it's because you didn't try. It's because you didn't try at all. And again, it's another example of them not trying. It's another example of them just kind of sitting on their ass, just like, well, I guess let's work a little bit on GTA 6. Hey, anyone want a beer? They're not doing anything other than like a new project here or there. They refuse to elaborate. They refuse to add on to anything anymore other than online because it's such a moneymaker. And if you want to see the ultimate proof of this as well, look at Red Dead Online. Red Dead Redemption 2's online. When Rockstar was creating it and marketing it and pushing it, it was kind of looking like their wet dream. GTA Online in the Wild West. Another money printer for them. But as soon as it started having problems and going badly, instead of actually trying to fix it a bunch, what did they do? They borderline completely jumped ship. Because yes, when GTA Online itself came out and was struggling, it was worth fixing up because it was going to be a money printer, and they were smart enough to see that. They were smart enough to see the potential revenue behind GTA Online. But guess what? when it came to Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption's online for RDR2, it didn't matter because they already had that revenue source. They're already getting these billions of dollars a year. So they didn't need that extra revenue source or potential revenue source. They didn't need to take the risk on actually fixing up Red Dead Online. And yes, I know it hasn't been completely abandoned. There's still some development on it. They still do a little bit, but it's nothing compared to what they acted like they would do. And if you go to the comment section under pretty much any post that they actually do about Red Dead Online under really any of their social medias, it's just players saying, hey, why didn't you ever finish this? Hey, are you ever going to add more to this experience? Hey, this could be a lot better. You could make this a lot like GTA Online. Where are you guys? And it's radio silence because they don't care. And I think that that has to be the biggest frustrating thing to me about Rockstar nowadays is that it feels like they care enough to release a very good game every once in a long while, right? A very good game. We get things like GTA 5. We get things like Red Dead Redemption 2. Once in a long while. We'll get it. But other than that, they really just care about maintaining online. They care about maintaining GTA Online and the cash cow that is, and that's all they want to do. And I don't blame them for wanting the money. I don't blame them at all. In fact, it seems like it's relatively a surefire investment to keep doing GTA Online. What I do blame them for is not having the balls to kind of stand behind what they used to be. There's nothing wrong with expanding GTA Online. In fact, make all the shark cards your heart desires. I don't care. But for me, what bothers me is the lack of attention to everything else on the side. I don't understand why you can't do both. Why can't you do GTA Online just the exact way you're doing it and still develop some single-player content? Why can't you do GTA Online the exact way you're doing it and still make some more of the players, weapons and vehicles available offline to people? To play around with Michael or any of these other characters. Why can't you do that? And at the end of the day, it's because it's not as profitable. It's because it's not as lucrative. And why make 99% of the money when you can make 100% of the money? Why put in that extra, 5-10% effort over here that's going to cost a little bit of that revenue when you could just not do it at all and just make bank off of occasional single-player releases and then re-releasing them the generation later, and then, of course, just focusing on GTA Online. There's really no reason to not do that. I mean, this is the same thing we've seen with companies like Blizzard. You luck into a release like Overwatch, you luck into a release like World of Warcraft, and it becomes a juggernaut, and all of a sudden you don't do anything else. And it's just unfortunate to me because I know that companies like Rockstar are capable of doing both. They're capable of the actually fascinating and fun content that they've brought to GTA Online, and also doing things like an Undead Nightmare type thing for Red Dead Redemption 2, or making Bully 2, or doing a remaster and actually putting some effort into it. And instead, they've kind of become relegated to a shark card company that blames consumers for their failures and then, of course, takes their ball and goes home. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about this. It's extremely frustrating to me because I really do admire the work that this company has done. I really do admire a lot of their creativity and the art that they have made, but it's just, they're not the same anymore. This is just kind of who they are now, I think, and I don't think that's going to change. It would take like a massive revenue failure for any of this to change, and let's be honest, that's never going to happen. Please be sure to let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more content. I appreciate you very much. Have a fantastic day, and as always, everyone, stay shui.